What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. First things first, shout out to God for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Shout out to the Rich Gang family, you for coming through. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications so y'all can catch me when I upload every single day. Hit that like button and be sure to drop down a comment below. So, I'm bringing y'all the top 3 best shooting guard builds when it comes down to NBA 2K22 on next gen. First coming up, I got the offense initiator build, and I'm telling you, pretty much with all 3 of these builds, you're going to be able to get over 100 badges, and especially with the animations that do come with them, you're going to be able to get contact dunks, dribble, play elite defense, and shoot. So I'm telling you, these are all around builds. So as you can see, when it comes down to the finishing on this build, I'm going to be able to get 21 badges, and we're going to be able to also get the contact dunks once we do adjust the vertical. Now for the shooting, 24 badges, going to be good for my liking. Then on the playmaking side, we get 26. And also then when it comes down to the defense, finally, you're going to be able to play some pretty solid defense, especially if you decide to go ahead and add the extra 8 badges that you will unlock to this area of the build. So keep that in mind with all of these. With the rebirth now, you're going to be able to get the +4 from the college, and then +4 if you've completed each season from getting the extra badge upgrade. Now, for me, on this specific build, I would spread it around, but if you want to, going on the defensive end entirely would bring it up to around 33, so that's going to be very overpowered and something to think about as well. Now, when it comes down to the physicals, as you can see, we're going to be maxing out that speed, acceleration, vertical, going to be a 70, and then when it comes down to the stamina, I'm going to put it to an 86, but if you want to go ahead and change it up to where you can raise it to 99, you definitely can go ahead and do so. Now, when it comes down to the takeovers, as you can see, we're going to be able to get the slashing takeover, then also the shot creating, playmaking with the post scoring as well. Now, the post scoring, in my opinion, makes this build very unique, especially paired up with the ankle breaking shots takeover. Gonna be very overpowered and something to think about. And as y'all can see, when it comes down to the build name, we have made the offense initiator the first shooting guard build coming at y'all. Anthony Edwards comparison, D-Book with Manu G. I'm telling y'all, the builds are only going to continue to get even better. Now, for the second build that I got lined up for y'all, I know that I normally do show y'all the name beforehand, but with this one, it's actually going to be called the two-way pass-first guard. Now, when it comes down to what this build is going to be able to do, I'm telling you, the defense is definitely going to be coming through. Then when it comes down to the offense end, really well-rounded how I decided to make it. So if you are still watching, just go ahead and let me know what y'all thought about that first build in the comment section. Go ahead and hit that like button since you are still here. Now, let's go ahead and get into the making. Of course, first things first, you want to go ahead and put this build under the shooting guard position. The height we're going to be going with is going to be 6'8", and then when it comes down to the weight, I like 210 with a 7'6" wingspan. Now the only thing before we get into the actual making, I just want to say, if you decide to make any of these builds, just be sure to follow along until you get the actual build name, and then if you feel like making any adjustments afterwards, go ahead and do so, because you do risk changing the build name, and that is something that I don't want for y'all. So when it comes down to the finishing, as you can see, we're going to be able to upgrade our driving dunk to where we're going to be able to get the pro contact dunks. With this build, you're going to be able to get 18 finishing badges. Then on the shooting side of things, I'm going to go ahead and put that mid-range shot to a 75. 3-point shot, gonna be a 78 with an 82 free throw. 20 shooting badges right there. Now, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. As you can see on this side of the ball, you're going to be able to maintain 19 badges. But honestly, when it comes down to the defensive end, this is where things are going to get even better. So, right there, we're going to go ahead and upgrade that interior defense just so we can guard on the inside a little bit. Then with the steal, block, and perimeter defense. This is going to be upgraded a good amount, and then from here we still got the rebounding upgrade. This is going to be a crucial part about the build as well, especially when it comes down to playing on the 1v1 core if you decide to go that route. As you can see, 28 badges so far, but then when you go ahead and upgrade your offensive rebound, 32 in total, and if you put the extra 8 badge upgrades into this area of the build, you're going to be able to get 40 defensive badges. Now, each season it's only going to continue to where we're going to be able to unlock one extra badge upgrade, so you can even say with this build you do have the potential of getting up to 100 badges. Now, when it comes down to the physicals, maxing out that speed, acceleration, we're not going to worry about the strength. Go with the 76 vertical and then a 94 stamina, and this is pretty much what the build is going to be looking like. Now let's go ahead and get into the takeovers. Just be mindful that whichever takeover you decide to pick, that is going to be giving you a plus 10 to that area of the build. So if you go with the sharpshooting, that's going to give you a plus 10 to your shooting. I'm going to go ahead and pick the limitless range one. Secondly, if you want to go ahead and pick the glass cleaning, that is definitely a good takeover. For my liking, I would have to say I'm going to go with paint intimidation. And now let's go ahead and check out the build name. And as y'all can see, we have made the 100 plus badge. New lockdown build coming out of the shooting guard position, the two-way pass first guard. I like the comparison of PG as well as Clyde Drexler. Now from here on out, we got one more build lined up for y'all. I'm telling you, this one is probably my favorite out of them all because of the name and what it's going to be able to do. And as y'all can see, for the third build out of the best top 3 shooting guards, the jack of all trades with contact dunks, as well as we're going to be able to get that post scoring takeover, which in my opinion makes this build just that much more unique. Now if you are still watching already on the third build, you already watched 2, just be sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Out of the first 2, which one do you plan on making, if you do at all? And when it comes down to it at the end of this video, let me know what y'all think about this jack of all trades. So as you can see, we're going to be going with the shooting guard position. Then when it comes down to the height on this build, for my liking, I really have to say 6'7" is one that I really feel like is a sweet spot for most positions. Then when it comes down to the weight, I'm going to go with 181 and then leave it at a 7'1" wingspan. Now this build is very specific, so just be sure to follow along exactly with what I do on these stats. We're going to go ahead and get into the finishing, and as you can see, we're going to be able to get the pro contact dunks on this build as well, which in my opinion makes it even better and more versatile all around. Now in total, on the finishing side, you're going to be able to get 27 badges, and the badges that we do unlock, back down Punisher and Hall of Fame, with a good amount of post scoring badges as well. Now that's pretty much what it's going to be looking like when it comes down to the finishing end. But as you can see, for the shooting right here, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my mid-range up to an 82. Same thing for the three-pointer. Put up that free throw so you can go into any game mode. And right here, 24 badges is what I feel comfortable with. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the playmaking. You definitely got to go ahead and be able to dribble with this build. So I'm going to put it up to an 80 when it comes down to the ball handle. Speed with ball, a 76. 72 pass accuracy, so you're still able to get bullet passer on silver. Then in total, 22 badges, and we get a good amount of badges that are going to help us when it comes down to dribbling on this build. Now let's go ahead and get into the defensive end. As you can see, when it comes down to this, you're going to be really solid all around, especially on the defensive end. Now, with that rebounding being upgraded, that's going to make you a much bigger threat on any game mode, in my opinion, especially for the 1v1 core. 20 defensive badges in total, but remember, you're still going to be able to get the +8 once you grind this build out, and then also from the rebirth. All things taken into consideration, I feel like this is probably the best all around and most rare build name that comes with it. Now, I like the attributes. I'm going to go with an 80 vertical, 90 stamina, and then max out the speed as well as the acceleration. If you feel like changing anything, you definitely can do so, but when it comes down to the shooting, that pretty much has to remain as is. You can take your risk with all else as you want, but now let's go ahead and get into the takeovers. We do get the slashing takeover, shot creating so you will be able to break ankles on this build, shoot from deep with the limitless range takeover, and then finally, we do get the post scoring. Just know that whichever takeover y'all pick, base it off of your own playstyle, and if you're still watching, just know that I appreciate y'all as well. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day and I do not want y'all to miss. Be sure to go ahead and hit that like button as well as drop a comment down below at the end of this banger. And as y'all can see, we have made the jack of all trades builds with a comparison of Tracy McGrady, Jaylen Brown, and Anthony Edwards. Thank y'all for coming through all the way. Just know that I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.